In the final version of this project, we will have a St. Vrain tour and a construction tour. For today, we will be taking the St. Vrain tour. To start off the tour, we are going to take you on a journey of the past, present, and possible future of education. Let's start off with the past. Humans have been educating their young since the beginning of our species, but the first written showing of education was found in ancient societies like the ancient Egyptians and their hieroglyphs. The ancient Greeks and Romans inscribed in wax tablets to record things and then moved on to parchment. They opened schools to teach children fundamental skills and built libraries to house the tablets and scrolls. Nalanda, a Buddhist center for learning in India, created the concept of degrees and titles for those who continued their education. Now let's move on to the Middle Ages. The first medieval institutions that were considered to be universities were first established in France, England, and Italy. They were centers for studying art, medicine, law, and theology. This is also where lectures started becoming the norm for education. Instructors would read source material to a class while students would take notes. When the printing press was invented, it changed everything. Now books were cheaper and easier to produce, making them much more available. Now let's move on to the Renaissance, where education flourished. It emphasized pre-professional and scientific studies to train students to become doctors, theologians, or even lawyers. The scientific method was also created during this time, which focused on empirical evidence and set the stage for important contributions to biology, anatomy, and astronomy. Early education in the United States started with the Boston Latin School. Founded in Massachusetts, it became the first public school in the United States. Secretary of Education Horace Mann created a statewide system for professional teachers to use, and the importance of reading started to become emphasized and became a part of everyday life. Now, in modern education, law has been created to put education at the center of our society. The Higher Education Act that was passed in 1965 provided resources for colleges and universities and started the process for financial aid for students. The first computers revolutionized the speed and ability of our education system and opened up new fields of study. Now we have tablets and smartphones that connect us with the internet and give us access to a whole world of information. Now, what will education look like in the next 20 years? Let's find out together. Thank you to FCI Constructors, AMD Architects, and our other sponsors. Without your support and financial backing, this project wouldn't have been possible. Welcome to the St. Vrain Valley School District's Innovation Center. We are a hub of creativity, collaboration, and opportunity. When students walk through our doors, their minds open up. Here, any student from in the school district or even some of the other districts can use our facilities and technologies beyond those in the average school. We are a catalyst, incubator, and bridge between education, industry, and our community. This footage was taken by the Innovation Center's aeronautics team. During the building's construction, they came out every week to take drone footage and 360 video.
Right off the bat, you can see that the Innovation Center isn't like a normal school. The lobby is modern, open, and well lit. The front desk, the spot that is usually a domineering symbol of restraint and routine, is to the side, while the dominant features are screens showcasing student achievements, large windows, and an inviting meeting space, the first of many of its kind throughout the Innovation Center. The couches are colorful and comfortable, and the low table with built-in electrical outlets is more reminiscent of a living room coffee table than a school desk. Spaces like this one are meant to facilitate collaboration and productivity while letting students be themselves. Over to the right is the Compass Store, which sells student-developed products and provides customer service for tech repair. At the Innovation Center, students' projects don't just go on the shelf at home to collect dust. Projects can become products to be used by the public and to inspire others. This retail space teaches students how to make something presentable and shows the value of their talents. Seeing people pay their hard-earned cash for something you put time and passion into really builds self-esteem, especially if this is your first time putting your hard work into the world.
When you start to leave the lobby, you can see a few slices of what the Innovation Center has to offer. To the left of the screen displaying all the day's classes and events, and you can catch a glimpse of the staircase leading to the second floor. To the right is a view of the User Interface Lab, and above is one of the mezzanines and many balconies. You can even see all the way into the valley, the core of the Innovation Center. This area was specifically designed to preview all this place has to offer, but hide enough to leave the majority to the imagination and encourage exploration. Once you pass through here, you are separate from the outside world and an entirely new one, the world you can shape yourself. Let's go. Here, right as you're exiting the lobby, is a space where we can display student and district achievements. The robotics team has received multiple VEX Tournament Championship awards, and over to the right, we have tributes to the FCI construction team with a hard hat and miniature model of the Innovation Center. FCI constructors even won the Project of the Year award from the Associated Builders and Contractors Rocky Mountain chapter for their work in building the Innovation Center.
Is our User Interface Lab, where students participate in our Apple certification, cybersecurity, and tech team programs. The Apple certification program teaches students the ins and outs of Apple technology while achieving formal certification as an Apple technician. This enables them to get paying jobs working on these powerful machines seen all throughout the Innovation Center in the St. Bernard Valley School District. This room is filled with Apple products, some of which are historical milestones in Apple computers. The cybersecurity program allows students to become certified in one of the biggest upcoming job markets. Cybersecurity is becoming more and more important to our society as we do almost everything online. Cybersecurity has also become the focus of one of our newest P-Tech programs, which you'll hear more about later in this tour. Students in this program learn about the modern methods to keep data and personal information safe, propelling them into creating a new era of smarter and safer interactions on the internet. This room is our Robotics and Design Center. Here, students not only learn about such critical technologies such as artificial intelligence and microelectronics, but they also have opportunities to become part of our award-winning competitive teams, competing in VEX tournaments and others across the United States and internationally. Students learn how to program many of these advanced technologies as integration solutions, such as IBM's Watson and other forms of machine learning and AI. Students in our robotics programs learn everything from building a functioning robot designed to execute specific tasks, all the way to programming the controls for each moving part. Every year, the team gets together and creates their robot and prepares it for the VEX tournaments. Now, the Design Center consists of the development of other solution areas, including AI, 3D printing, industrial modeling, industry-aligned robotics for advanced manufacturing, healthcare, and agriculture. Artificial intelligence is another part of technology that is getting more and more important to our society. Ever wished your phone would just understand what you're trying to do all the time? Ever wanted it to do things for you without having to type it in? Well, artificial intelligence is how we will accomplish that. We can already see different forms of it in our hands every day with virtual assistants like Siri and more advanced ones like IBM's Watson. Students are learning how our current forms of artificial intelligence work, and they're exploring where it will be and how they can be the ones to take this technology to the next step. Many students like myself have taken the AR and VR development class. Students learn how to model and create virtual environments just like the one you're in right now. Using industry-standard software, students are tasked with putting their creative minds to use, creating 3D objects and scenes that can be viewable in a virtual reality headset. We see a large part of our future is held in virtual and augmented reality. Education and even our daily lives will soon be melded with the capabilities this technology gives us.
School District Community. My name is Jake Marshall, and I teach the aeronautics program here at the Innovation Center.
So Jake, what is some of the advanced coursework that you guys offer here?
Some of the advanced coursework that we teach in the aeronautics program is our pilot ground. Pilot ground instruction, headed up by Steve Kirshner, is specifically designed to get the pilots, the student pilots in our district in for free to start ground training to see if this is something that can best suit them as a possible career in the future. Taking these ground courses will prepare them for the FAA written, and from there they can pursue piloting after our classes. The other classes that we have in the aeronautics program is our unmanned aerial systems engineering design classes. We do have our training platforms, but the engineering classes where the real innovation and innovative practices and design thinking pieces come into play. Students are tasked with designing fixed-wing and multi-rotor aircraft to serve a multitude of problems that are currently being used in today's industry.
What are some of the partnerships your area has?
Some of the awesome partnerships that we have in the aeronautics program is our partnership with Ames Community College. They are our secondary or post-secondary college that we have teamed up with for our pilot ground students, and our APT 155 drone pilots as well. So we have a couple classes that are concurrent enrollment, so kids that are taking classes here can get college credit at Ames that can then be transferred to universities and colleges across the country. We also have Embry-Riddle is one of our main partners. Embry-Riddle has been a huge part in identifying what we do as a huge asset to their programming as well, and they are taking kids that are seniors and providing them an opportunity to check out Embry-Riddle to see if it's a good suit for them. Our final partnership that we have is Boeing. Boeing has helped us now for 2 straight years, providing over $100,000 worth of funds to help grow our program from pilot ground to our drone program, all the way to our after-school project teams.
And speaking of that, what are some of the project teams you have working here?
The aeronautics program has the aeronautics program has one team. It's the aeronautics team, and that team is tasked with doing all kinds of awesome projects. We go from simple research and development projects where the kids are coming in with no experience whatsoever, building using common materials, and being able to then apply those to actual contractual-based work. The aeronautics team has garnered over 20 contracts in the last 2 years, stemming from just simple UAS work within the community, all the way up to supporting defense community or defense work, and doing some amazing data collection, aerial data collection for them as well. Some stuff I just can't talk about.
Hi, I'm Lizette, and I am a senior at Longmont High. I chose this aviation class because I wanted a head start in my aviation career, and I'm planning to spend 8-15 an airline pilot for American Airlines. At the Innovation Center, they provide a very welcoming and inclusive environment and can help you in any class you
Now, we'll give you a sneak peek of what the construction version of the tour will look like.
The design intent of the valley was one of culmination, a respite after the journey through the slot canyon, peering into the laboratories of activity. The large space was intended to be open and inviting while creating a sense of pause and comfort. The valley needed to be able to hold large presentations, but also offer opportunity for small group gatherings and individual inspiration. Overlooks from the mezzanine and second floor allow for places where students and faculty can connect both visually and audibly. For the room to be multifunctional, the mechanical design needed to be a quiet backdrop, creating unnoticed comfort for all of the valley's occupants. Passive ventilation was an ideal directive and can be found within the wooden seated steps. However, due to the volume of the space, the low flow from below had to be supplemented by slightly higher velocity forced air vents at walls and ceilings, providing thermal comfort from all directions. By peeling back interior finishes, one can see the enormous amount of coordination required not only within the valley steps, but also above the drop ceiling. 3 HVAC units sit on the sloped steel roof above and work their way down through and around the structure to both supply and return air to all parts of the building, while simultaneously being concealed from view in the most important of spaces, the valley. We call this space the valley. It's large and open, ready to be filled with people. There are several collaborative spaces within the valley. The semicircle of orange couches and low tables, the more mobile chairs and tables on wheels on the main floor space, the scattering of blue hexagon tables, the large blue cubicle, the counter overlooking our virtual reality lab, and the staircase itself. Smaller groups can gather in these different spots, or the whole space can be used to host large events and presentations. As a student, this space allows for our creative minds to flow freely. The valley is far more beautiful than the average high school commons or cafeteria. Large windows, open space, and potted plants help make it feel less stuffy, while the movable walls give it more flexibility. From the valley, you can reach the kitchen, the caves, upstairs, the mezzanine, a phone booth, and the flex space. On the weekends and after school, the Innovation Center is used for, among other things, professional development for teachers. Staff members from schools throughout the district fill up the valley for presentations and branch out into the mezzanine and other classrooms for smaller group activities. The large wall at the front of the room allows for presentations that can be seen from anywhere in the room. If the floor is filled up, people can watch from the staircase and the balconies on the sides. The whole building is meant to engage as many people as possible. Overall, the valley is the perfect place for anything. It is not uncommon to see students, teachers, and staff sitting along the stairs, working on projects, discussing with colleagues, and hosting meetings. Off to your side, as you near the top of the left-hand side of the stairs, is the mezzanine, a mini-floor in between the main two. The mezzanine is yet another place students can meet and collaborate. A small cave with chair and benches, tall chairs at the counter overlooking the valley, and some couches gives students plenty of options in this one space. On the large wall, there's a different material specifically designed for the projector screen. This wall is visible from countless different angles of the Innovation Center, piquing interest from all points. Most notably is the canyon when entering the Innovation Center. The break in the mezzanine allows for those that walk under it to see whatever is being displayed on the wall from the projector. Again, from the other side of the canyon, there's another spot where the wall becomes visible. By no mistake, a staircase just to the left of the canyon goes directly up to the mezzanine. Make your way to the top of the stairs, you're presented with 3 distinct paths to take. The first is the pitch room on the left, an official presentation room. Straight behind me is the incubator space, a special classroom for aspiring entrepreneurs. And to the right are many of our beautiful classrooms, the CERN, Menlo Park, Cape Canaveral, and Kitty Hawk rooms. These names reference famous places for STEM innovation. Everything about these classrooms is built to make the learning process as adaptable as possible. With cleverly designed tables and chairs, they can be easily rearranged to fit any need. The Menlo Park Room is a computer lab used for classes covering hardware, software, and networking, allowing students to earn industry certifications. The other classrooms you may be more familiar with. These are our P-Tech and P-Teach courses, which let students get college credit and even an associate's degree during high school for free. After school, teachers use them for professional development. While the pitch room is for presenting ideas, the incubator space across the way is for developing them. Every part of this area is meant to foster creativity and put students in an entrepreneurial mindset. It's welcoming and comfortable, more like a fun place to hang out than a classroom. But that doesn't mean the students here aren't productive. The entrepreneurial multimedia team creates marketing for this area's operations, conducts events, oversees operations within the entrepreneurial zone, and produces the Mind Entre podcast with the radio team. The radio team records in an audio studio just a few doors down. Students here can also earn TriCaster industry certification to become credible and confident broadcasters. When students leave the programs available to them here, they have the skills to succeed in the business world and advance their careers. When it comes to collaborating with business partners and our local community, look no further than this space. The students here have collaborated with countless people outside of the Innovation Center, giving them the experience they need to do great things.
I'm Jeffrey Lund, and I am the project manager for the entrepreneurial zone that we're in here today. We also have a studio that we run. What I teach in this particular area is around business and entrepreneurship. So I will teach entrepreneurial mindset. I teach Business 115, which is a front range concurrent enrollment class for P-TECH. And I also teach Management 230 out of this classroom, which is also a concurrent enrollment for P-TECH. Students who take my entrepreneurial mindset course can get concurrent enrollment as well. And then I've also piloting a new course this year, which is the entrepreneurial business operations. So we go more in depth after students discovered what they want to do. We go more in depth with the entrepreneurial piece. Some of the partnerships that we have here within the entrepreneurial zone are with the University of Colorado School of Business, Leeds School of Business. We have intern this semester again from the Leeds School of Business. I also work with other universities like the Watson Institute, also the Watson Institute Bachelor Program, which allows students to take their entrepreneurial idea and get a bachelor's degree in social entrepreneurship while they start their business. I also have partnerships with OtterBox currently, and we've worked with other organizations in this zone as well. And then also we do work with all the schools in the district, and we're redeveloping our programs to get students more involved in opportunities and with local entrepreneurs. We do have interns in my program, high school interns, and also I have one college intern this semester, which has been invaluable over the last, this is our third year with interns. The high school students get a credit plus an hourly paid internship, and then our college students get a paid internship as well, and it helps deepen our relationships.
Hi, I'm Vida Rona. I am a senior in Skyline High School, and I am an intern at the Entrepreneurial Zone. Basically what I do is create events for the Entrepreneurial Zone and help market what we do to our city to help people with their small businesses. And in the future what I like to do is help small businesses, especially the Latino small business, with expanding their market. I'm currently creating a database to help those who participate in our events so we can contact them in the future to inform them of our future events.
This is the pitch room, where students can put their ideas into the real world. They try to convince investors that their ideas are worth selling with Innovation Center's top quality presentation tools, such as large Apple TVs and a high quality camera system. This gives students the opportunity to practice real 21st century skills. Communication skills are becoming more and more important to the workplace. The pitch room allows for our students to develop communication skills and be ready for the real world. The pitch room feels like a real business conference room with comfortable and classy furniture and a modern design. Right outside this room is a nice waiting area with chairs and small tables. When the pitch room isn't being used for official presentations and the like, it's a quiet workplace for student project teams.
Hey, welcome to our Innovation Center studios. In this room, I teach a couple courses that we've created. One is called the TriCaster system, which is basically teaching students around live television production, and we train them on our system here within the studio. Also, another course that we're piloting this year is called the studio production floor, in which we take students into the realm of what it's like to work in the actual film industry, looking at lighting, 180 continuity, all kinds of things that will help them understand the business as well as how to produce better films and photography for themselves. We also have a work team in here that we do client projects for clients such as the City of Longmont. We've also done projects for feeder systems within the district. We've done stuff for the Longmont Museum. So the students are very active in producing, storyboarding, filming, and editing all of those products for our clients. We also produced podcasts in the past. We had a radio show for 5 years out of Boulder at KJMU called Tech Talks. We're continually looking at new ways to take media into the real world for our students.
Hi, I'm Allie. I'm a senior this year. I go to Frederick High School, and here at the Innovation Center we have a class called P-Teach, also known as Pathways to Teaching. In this classroom we learn the fundamentals of teaching. We've taken classes such as Power, Language, and Identity to learn diversity within the classroom, child development and child guidance, which helps guide students as they grow older. And most importantly, we've done Intro to Early Childhood Education, which gives us a step into the world of teaching. And if a student takes the classes and decides not to pursue education, there's many fields they could go into, and different benefits they can get from the class, such as free college credit. Students that feel they don't want to be teachers, they could work in the medical side of it all with the psychology or pediatrics, and they can work with nearby organizations to help pursue that with their field experience.
As you entered the valley, you may have noticed this hallway underneath the stairs. This space is called the Caves, designed specifically to combine both relaxation and collaboration, with booths, whiteboards, and TVs. The lower lighting, private spaces, and overall look of the caves make this a perfect place for students, project teams, and teachers to work or take some time to relax. Here we've displayed some student artwork from around the district. Each group of works has a plaque underneath that notes the artist's name and school. We hope to fill the walls of the Innovation Center with more and more student artwork, as it really is a sight to behold. We talk a lot about improving our science, technology, engineering, and math programs, but it is essential that we not leave art behind. Artistic expression and abstract thought are what distinguish robots from humans. We need the arts and sciences to work together if we want to make the visions in our heads a reality, to bring our world into the future.
We want to take a little time to thank you for coming with us on this tour. We especially want to thank FCI Constructors for their funding of this project and AMD Architects for their support in creating some of what you hear and see. None of this would be possible without them. Thank you. This final video exemplifies what the mission of the St. Vrain Valley School District is. Our goal is to propel our students into the future and help mold them into great leaders. The Innovation Center is a key part of this mission, and we are looking to the future with excitement.
And lastly, we want to thank Engage for their partnership with us. They worked with our team over the course of several months, helping us recreate the Innovation Center and make this dream become a reality. Here is one last preview of the construction version of our tour. These are some of the renders of different layers of the building that we will use to show the trades and their roles in the construction process.
Hello, I am Zachary Miller, and I am a junior at Skyline High School. My role in the project was to make the Innovation Center model and have it so we can have a virtual representation of the Innovation Center in Engage. I found it very valuable to learn about the tools we used, like Blender, Unity, and the Engage software. It will help me immensely in the future if I want to do anything with Unity, Blender, or Engage, like creating applications or games or anything else that has to do with those programs.
My name is Jackson Guthrie, and I am a senior at Meade High School. So my main role kind of became being the project manager and leader, and my job was basically at the end of every meeting, make sure we have a plan for the next meeting, make sure we have something new that's going to be better than last time. And a lot of it came down to communicating with Engage and making sure that what we were doing was going to actually make it into the end product. And then also towards the end, it became a lot of writing the script with Ada, and that was great experience. I learned a lot of how to communicate properly. I would say towards the beginning it was pretty primitive, the emails that went between me and Engage, and over time, I definitely learned, how I should structure those and how I should address people, and especially in an email. And then I for sure learned a lot of Unity and Blender, especially. Definitely not as much as Zach, but it was very valuable learning those skills. In the future, it's given me a lot of experience in just working as a team. I view everyone else on the team as equal partners in doing this project, and it was a lot of taking in ideas from everyone else and then trying to formulate them with my own and then come up with a plan.
My name is Kyle Taylor. I'm a senior at Niles High School. My role was taking all the 360 video and other applications that we have and editing them together and integrating them into the IC project that we have. Being part of this project, I learned how to communicate with others and also how to use video editing softwares and other techniques that I wouldn't have used any other way. I also learned a bit of 3D modeling and different applications of using code and Unity. I don't know if I'm going to go into this industry as my main job. I have other interests, but this is definitely a great idea for a hobby or something else that I could go into, and just knowing more in general can help me with other fields of work.
I'm Ada McMillan, and I'm a senior at Meade High School. In this project, I helped develop the script for the tour and polished the narrative to make everything flow nicely and make the Innovation Center sound cool. What I found really valuable in this project was getting to see my writing being used for something that you wouldn't normally expect it to be used for, because when you're in English class, you're just writing essays and paragraphs and whatever that are kind of truly useless except for developing your skills. But in this project, I get to write something that's going to be put out into the world and be helping people. Lessons I've learned in this experience that I think will help you in the future are that when you're writing for a project, your writing isn't entirely your own. You also need to accept criticism from other people and put other people's ideas into there and be willing to be flexible and incorporate other thoughts besides your own into your writing. And I think that's really important for writing in the real world and all that.
And one more thank you to Mr. Darcy for starting this project and being our manager and teacher. He was the one that started this process and got us the grants and contacts that we needed to do this work. We couldn't have done any of this without him. For myself and the rest of the team, thank you.